Did it before. No, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next.
Tank want a rematch. Do you let me know now? Do you want to fight Tank again? He said he open to do a rematch. Do you want to fight Tank
100%.
again?
It's only a matter of time. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight again. It's just whenever the fight gonna happen.
So it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Okay. They say they want it in New York again. Do you want to fight again in the Barclays Center?
I wouldn't mind, but I'd love for it to be in DC.
Okay, cool.
I'd love for it to be in DC.
Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. are preparing for a much-anticipated rematch following their controversial draw on March 1st. Speculation is growing as both fighters seem determined to settle the score. Roach's promoter, Gary Jonas, suggested the rematch is nearly finalized, stating it's essentially a done deal with only a few details remaining. Meanwhile, Davis appears more focused than ever, possibly setting aside any retirement discussions. This upcoming fight is shaping up to be a must-watch battle.
Everyone's mind, how close is the rematch? How big will it be? How close is it to getting done?
Very close. It's in my mind, it's a done deal, but there are formalities, but it's a done deal and it's not far off. I can't give you more than that right now, but what I can tell you is that it's going to be an interesting fight. I think you got dynamics. You've got Gervonta, who's probably going to be angry, probably woken up, probably more focused than he has been, not talking about retirement. That's a factor.
March 1st, 2025, showdown between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. left the boxing world in debate, fueling anticipation for a rematch. Held at Brooklyn's Barclays Center, the fight ended in a majority draw, with one judge scoring at 115 to 113 for Davis and the other two at 114 to 114. A crucial moment came in the 9th round when Davis took a knee, prompting many to argue it should have been ruled a knockdown for Roach. However, referee Steve Willis did not make the call, igniting discussions among fans and analysts.
Into the ProBox TV studio, the story we've been dealing with all week, the fallout, of course, from Lamont Roach Jr. and Gervonta Davis. The fight ended up being a majority draw. The controversy around a 9th round knockout that was not called by the referee that would have completely changed the outcome of the fight and perhaps changed boxing history.
For me, fighting a minus 1600 as your main event odds is crazy to me, dude. That's crazy. That underdog lived up to the hype. He ended up, overperforming. Lamont Roach, credit to him, all this other stuff. And it took some politics to keep Davis as champion. You ever see guys getting the referee their own fight? Dude, anybody else takes that knee, you're getting counted, bro. The referee, actually, his instinct, if you watch that, the referee's instinct was to count. If you notice, Steve Willis started counting, and then he looked at the timekeeper outside the ring, wasn't counting, and he stopped counting. So you get to call your own timeout. Earlier in the fight, if you saw that shoulder barge that Tank did to Roach in the clinch, he didn't get a warning, but Roach's reaction got the warning. This is the politics we're dealing with. You keep doing this, you're looking at short-term money and long-term destruction of a sport.
He take a knee. You need to lose like 10-8 that round at least, no? And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face. That's a disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules, but
Some critics argue that Gervonta Tank Davis deliberately took a knee in the 9th round to disrupt Lamont Roach Jr.'s momentum and regain control. By going down voluntarily, Davis may have been trying to buy extra time to recover instead of risking Roach's relentless pressure. Many fans and analysts view this as a veteran tactic, a calculated way to break Roach's rhythm and tilt the fight back in his favor.
That's the last time somebody stood in the pocket versus Gervonta Tank Davis and survived. The last person that attempted to do it was Leo Santa Cruz, and that man's head is still rolling somewhere around the arena. And I say that respectfully with no remorse. That's why what Lamont Roach did last Saturday night was so absolutely amazing. Lamont Roach, in the pre-fight press conference, that was one of the few fighters that was not terrified of Gervonta Tank Davis. That's right. And the man flat out put on a show.
Get your hand out of my pocket!
He proved Two-Tone the Superstar wrong. He proved everybody wrong, and that man went ahead and cooked, and he gets robbed by the New York State Athletic Commission. And these people acknowledge that the knee that Gervonta Tank Davis took was a knockdown. They acknowledge this. They say, yes, it was a knockdown, but now they are saying, well, we don't know how the rest of the fight would have went on. Maybe Tank might have turned up. When the last time you seen Tank turn up? Gervonta Tank Davis might be a front runner. I say that respectfully. And to go ahead and keep it real with y'all, I think that knee that Tank took was because Lamont Roach was in a rhythm and Gervonta Davis tried to throw this man off a rhythm. Do I believe the Murray's sport waves, the soul glow was in his eye? Absolutely not. I believe that man Tank got nerve-eye and said, hold on, this man Lamont Roach is cooking. I need to take me a quick timeout and a quick break. It's nasty. It's horrible. It's disgusting. It's bad enough how hard and difficult it is to beat this man. Most fighters is weight drained. Most fighters has clauses on them. So when somebody who's coming up is able to compete with Gervonta Tank Davis, you handicap the man with trash rules.
Artist Maximus Ford didn't mince words when discussing the controversial moment in Gervonta Tank Davis's fight against Lamont Roach Jr. He highlighted that Davis took a clean jab, with most of the impact landing on his left eye, the same eye his corner had to treat between rounds. Many argue this should have been ruled a knockdown in Roach's favor, adding to the post-fight controversy. Maximus even tweeted, "This isn't a good look for Gervonta Davis. He took a clean jab, with the impact on his left eye, the same one his corner had to tend to. This should have been ruled a clear knockdown for Lamont Roach."
Left eye, the same one he had his corner tend to. This should have been ruled a clear knockdown for Lamont.
Braid, it wasn't oil in his eye. Tank got peppered. Jab, jab, cross. Listen to Lamont Roach talk about when he knocked Tank down in the 9th and the 10-8 wasn't called. Even Wild, Lamont Roach is yelling at the ref.
Knockdown that wasn't in round number 9. Gervonta Davis takes a knee, you landed a right hand, then 2 jabs afterward. What were you thinking when this happened?
Man, I was surprised, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like I thought it was a 10-8. Like that's what really was going on. Like, but like I was confused when he looked at the ref, but when he took the knee, I was like, and I grasped the concept that he was on the ground. I was like, that's a 10-8. Yeah. Simple.
You asked him, right? Why you stopped?
Yeah, I asked him literally. I said, why you stop counting?
Now, to Lamont's point, you will see it and you will hear it. Him ask the referee to keep counting. Here it is.
It's got to be a knockdown. What's happening?
Nobody knows what's going on.
ESPN analysts were also outspoken in their criticism of Davis's performance and the controversy surrounding the 9th round incident. They questioned the legitimacy of Davis's explanation and raised concerns about his focus and preparedness. Smith remarked, "In boxing, distractions can be costly. Champions must ensure they're fully prepared both mentally and physically." Kellerman added, "The incident raises questions about Davis's training regimen and attention to detail."
Yo, what's poppin'? It's Rock Solid, the beast of rap. Big baby! Yo, man, I got some good ass videos and takes on this Lamont Roach, Gervonta Davis fight. If you have not seen it, you need to go look at it now. Go look from the first one to the last one. All right? Don't go from the top to the bottom. Go and look for the video I did immediately after the fight and then watch after, bro. Talking about everything. But Stephen A. Smith chimed in on the Gervonta Davis or Lamont Roach fight. I want y'all to know what Stephen A. Smith said.
I was stunned.
Lamont Roach posted this on his Instagram profile. He said, "I gotta stand down and give mad respect to Lamont Roach. Brother fought one hell of a fight. This was a damn close fight. Gervonta taking a knee should have been a knockdown. Either way, Roach has skills, fought his ass off, deserves nothing but respect. He earned the boxing world's attention tonight. He has mine. Thought he'd be too small. I was wrong."
Davis clarified that the incident resulted from a hair treatment he had undergone 2 days before the fight. He explained that the grease from the treatment mixed with his sweat during the match, causing a burning sensation in his eyes. Addressing the crowd's reaction during the post-fight interview, Davis expressed frustration over the boos, emphasizing that his actions were a genuine response to the unexpected irritation, not an attempt to manipulate the fight's dynamic.
A rematch next, and if so, how likely it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year?
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
What is?
You might see it in a minute. You definitely might see it in a minute.
In the aftermath, Roach's team appealed to the New York State Athletic Commission, NYSAC, to overturn the draw, citing the referee's oversight. Despite acknowledging the mistake, the NYSAC upheld the original decision, leaving Roach frustrated but more determined than ever to secure a definitive victory in a rematch.
I was saying boxing. Why are you taking? You know that. You should know that. So that's the thing where I'm like confused because that's supposed to be a knockdown. That's a 10-8 round. If that's a 10-8 round, I win the fight. So you know what I'm saying? Like that draw turned into a 115-114 my way.
Going in, okay, it's round 10, right?
For Roach, the rematch is a chance to cement his status in the boxing world. After the first fight, he voiced his belief that his performance against a formidable opponent like Davis warranted a spot in the pound-for-pound rankings. His confidence has been evident on social media, where he has engaged with both critics and supporters, even proposing substantial bets on the rematch's outcome.
Saying that the fact that I do watch him fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we taking?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July.
Roach entered the ring as the underdog but walked out proving every doubter wrong. From the opening bell, he displayed skill, resilience, and sheer determination against the heavily favored Gervonta Davis. He landed sharp combinations, controlled the pace at times, and even had Davis in trouble. Many believed he did enough to win, and the majority draw only fueled the debate. Roach didn't just compete, he put on a statement performance, silencing critics and cementing his place among boxing's elite while demanding respect and a well-deserved rematch.
Last time somebody stood in the pocket versus Gervonta Tank Davis and survived. The last person that attempted to do it was Leo Santa Cruz, and that man's head is still rolling somewhere around the arena. And I say that respectfully with no remorse. That's why what Lamont Roach did last Saturday night was so absolutely amazing. Lamont Roach, in the pre-fight press conference, that was one of the few fighters that was not terrified of Gervonta Tank Davis. That's right. And the man flat out put on a show.
Get your hand out of my pocket!
He proved Two-Tone the Superstar wrong. He proved everybody wrong, and that man went ahead and cooked, and he gets robbed by the New York State Athletic Commission. And these people acknowledge that the knee that Gervonta Tank Davis took was a knockdown. They acknowledge this. They say, yes, it was a knockdown, but now they are saying, well, we don't know how the rest of the fight would have went on. Maybe Tank might have turned up. When the last time you seen Tank turn up? Gervonta Tank Davis might be a front runner. I say that respectfully. And to go ahead and keep it real with y'all, I think that knee that Tank took was because Lamont Roach was in a rhythm and Gervonta Davis tried to throw this man off a rhythm. Do I believe the Murray's sport waves, the soul glow was in his eye? Absolutely not. I believe that man Tank got nerve-eye and said, hold on, this man Lamont Roach is cooking. I need to take me a quick timeout and a quick break. It's nasty. It's horrible. It's disgusting. It's bad enough how hard and difficult it is to beat this man. Most fighters is weight trained. Most fighters has clauses on them. So when somebody who's coming up is able to compete with Gervonta Tank Davis, you handicap the man with trash.
Davis has the power to score a knockout early, but I see this as a fight where he'll need to track Roach down. He'll have to cut off the ring, apply pressure, and let his hands go before landing the decisive shot. That's how I see it playing out, so I'm leaning toward a late...
3 fights taking place Saturday night at the Barclays Center in New York City between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, Gary Russell versus Jose Valenzuela, and Sandor Martin versus Alberto Puello. Gervonta Davis uses knocks somebody out inside of 85 punches because he's clearly capable of that. But I just see this as being a kind of fight where he's going to have to run him down. He's going to have to walk him down, rather, and he's going to have to throw some punches before he ultimately catches him. And that's how I view it. So I'm going to go with more on this particular.
For Davis, the rematch is an opportunity to reassert his dominance in the lightweight division. Known for his knockout power and once perfect record, the draw against Roach was an unexpected setback he's determined to erase. Reports indicate that Davis is approaching the rematch with increased intensity, possibly putting retirement talks on hold to focus entirely on this crucial fight.
Like the bigger picture, he just wasn't focused for real. He, doing a lot of arguing in the ring and just a lot of stuff that wasn't like, he wasn't just focused. He wasn't all the way locked in the ring. You heard him say something like, it's a lot of things going on outside the ring that he was leading up to the fight, and shit, that's natural, you know what I'm saying? It's normal. Shit, I was going through the same thing with this last fight, you know, so I just feel like he just...
Barry Hunter acknowledged that Gervonta Davis abandoned his jab at times during the fight, allowing Lamont Roach to remain competitive. The jab is crucial for controlling distance and setting up power shots, and by not using it consistently, Davis made the fight closer than it needed to be. Additionally, in the later rounds, Davis appeared confused about how many rounds
of the fight, and if you thought that them knowing each other and growing up together contributed to the performance.
Yes and no. I thought that Tank was boxing early on. I thought we abandoned our jab somewhat in the fight a little bit. But down the stretch, I thought maybe, I believe, 2 or 3 rounds, I can't remember, Calvin, was one of the rounds that...
We needed 3 rounds, and it just went like, like we said, we looked at 3 rounds. Brian was calling out, I need 3. We got 1.
Timothy Bradley recently shared his thoughts on Gervonta Davis's mindset ahead of his rematch with Lamont Roach Jr., emphasizing that Davis's confidence, regardless of public perception, makes him an even more dangerous opponent. Reacting to Davis's relaxed demeanor, Bradley suggested that he has reached a level where outside opinions no longer affect him, which could translate into an even more dominant performance in the ring. In a tweet, Bradley stated, "Whether he looks zesty or not, he knows who he is. There's a superpower to that, and he's going to take it out on Lamont Roach. I feel sorry for Roach." Bradley implies that Davis's self-assurance could fuel a more aggressive and focused approach, making him an even bigger threat in the rematch.
First one we saw was he stood alone. He stood alone on the platform. He did the whole conference by himself, right? Press tour by himself, and he did his thing. You know what I'm saying? I respect a man that can stand on his own 2 feet, for real. But this one right here, having that picture leak, him looking real zesty, and not giving a fuck. Whoo! Trying to tell y'all, my man is on a new level. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know that song? We on a new level. I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level. Yes, my dude is on a new level, man, because he know who he is. There's a power in knowing who you is. Most people don't know who the hell they are, right? They don't know who the hell they are. They think they know, but they really don't know who they are. It takes you a while to figure out. We're constantly evolving as a human, right? Constantly evolving, right? But now he know. Tank know now. So that's why he don't give a damn. Having that power, that superpower, not giving a damn. And see, that's the reason why I can come to you guys, come to YouTube. I can, sit in front of you. I can hear the boos. I can hear the, you didn't beat Pacquiao. I can hear the big head, the milk dud, the coon, all the names that everybody always call me. That's why I can sit here and just still be myself and do what I do. Because I just don't give a about what anybody thinks. And Tank has gotten that superpower too now, baby. He just don't give a. Tank gonna beat Tank. Tank gonna do what Tank gonna do. That's just it. Whether he looking zesty or not, he know who he is. There's a superpower to that. And guess who he gonna take that out on? He gonna take that out on Lamont Roach, man. I feel sorry for Roach. Roach is a good fighter, man. He's a good fighter. He is. But I'm telling you, this Tank right here is different. It's a different dude. Alright? Did y'all see the weight too? Did y'all see the weight? The dude can fight tomorrow. The dude can fight today. The dude can fight whenever. It's a few weeks away, a few months away from the fight. Woo. I'm telling y'all.
Lamont Roach Sr. remains firm in his belief that his son, Lamont Roach Jr., deserved the victory over Gervonta Davis. He argues that his son outperformed Davis and should have had his hand raised by the judges. By stating, "We should have had our hand raised," he reinforces his conviction that the decision was unfair and that the fight was, in his view, taken from his son. Roach Sr. also stresses that the bout wasn't just about power and aggression but a highly tactical contest. He describes it as a high IQ boxing match, where both fighters displayed advanced skills in reading each other's movements, setting traps, and minimizing mistakes rather than simply engaging in reckless exchanges.
Should have got a decision, but this boxing, we didn't. It was a great fight, like I expected. But I knew my son was game. Training camp, he was so focused and locked in. I knew that we was gonna put on a great performance, and it was kind of like stolen away from him a little bit with the decision. But the world got to see how good he is, so that's the plus to come out of this. So he really stamped himself in the box.
Opening rounds, both fighters were cautious, analyzing each other's tactics instead of diving into aggressive exchanges. Roach Sr. points out that this stage of the fight involved intricate maneuvers and technical adjustments that only seasoned analysts or fighters might fully appreciate. Rather than relying on sheer power, the early rounds became a mental chess match, with each boxer attempting to outsmart the other.
Boxing world, more so with this performance. So like I say, that's why it's bittersweet.
Is it a difficult one to take because of the controversy certainly surrounding the Tank taking the knee moment, and then, like I say, not getting it on the scorecards?
Yeah, I thought we won without it, to be honest with you. I thought we didn't need that. We shouldn't have needed that either to get to the decision. I can't see him winning 7 rounds.
Do you think Gervonta Davis will dominate the rematch, or will Lamont Roach prove the doubters wrong again? Was the controversial knee a smart tactical move or a genuine issue? Drop your thoughts in the comments.